Good evening, St. Augustine, and welcome to Bollox Talks and Tangent. No, I am not Troy. I am not Troy Blevins. Do not adjust your screen or your phone or your tablet.
But there still is a Blevins boy sitting in studio today. Sadly, is the better Blevins.
I have to agree to that.
Oh, thank you.
So it's 6:34 and a half right now, and we're ready to start our show this evening. It's going to be a fun one. This was a difficult one. Troy, see, and I think that's why Troy's not here. He picked a topic that was kind of tough to do. Tonight we're going to be talking about inventions, I think discoveries, that didn't have an inventor. So it's going to kind of be interesting to see. Blake's got a whole bunch of them. I got a whole bunch of them. And we're going to see where we end up with this. But before we do that, we got to appreciate the people that keep us on the air. So, let's go right to the start. St. Augustine Distillery. Tonight's feature whiskey is the Abare Sherry Cask. It's efficient at 103 proof. Not bad. It's only 50+% alcohol by volume, but it is delicious. A beautiful bottle. Hand-numbered bottles. You can't go wrong. It's got the best tasting tour in town, the St. Augustine Distillery. They do classes on mixology. You'll learn how to make bourbon. You'll take a trip through the original ice plant in St. Augustine. It's just, I have nothing to say about it that's not fabulous. You got whiskey. You got gin. You got rum. You got vodka. And a beautiful gift shop at the end of your tour. And they're associated with City Gate Spirits.
Oh, last week, Lenny. So during last week's show, my dad had the City Gates peach whiskey.
Yep.
He enjoyed it so much.
And in summertime, they've got so many fabulous flavors. They've got cola, they've got peach, they've got pineapple, they've got moonshines, they've got all these flavored whiskeys. You can mix them into a cooler. You can do them on a snow cone. You can do a lot of things with them for desserts. It's just or just chill them and sip them. Great flavors. It's on Sponsor Row, right across from the fort. They have a great tour themselves, too. You want to go in there? You don't have to do this blind. You go there, and you will taste all the flavors they have. They're very generous with that, and it's delicious, delicious stuff. We also have Abare, Kresge and Associates, apparently the people that keep Troy and his 19 businesses floating. And the IRS, by the way, just today, the IRS claimed they have reclaimed $1 billion from people who didn't pay their taxes. Fortunately, Troy's not one of them because of Abare, Kresge and Associates. $1 billion, exactly. Accountants in town, if you have any accounting needs, you're starting a business, you need help with a business plan, those are the people to go to. We've got Coquina Coast Realty. I'm going to let Blake do this one.
Oh, the best real estate agent in town today. So if you guys are looking for a home, business, property, or anything in St. Johns County, please give my dad a call at 904-669-7901. Again, that phone number is 904-669-7901.
Out of town, call collect.
One hell of a collect, please.
No, I don't think there is anything such a collect call anymore. But there's a radio show where I grew up. It was 1-800 blah 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 blah. Out of town, call collect. Abare, Chesire Collision and Custom and Collision.
Yeah,
well, that's not easy. It's the alliteration that gets me. You have a ding in your car. You don't like the color of your car. Bring it to these people. They will fix any dings, any dents, any type of body work that needs to be done. And then you pick a nice color because they've got a paint booth on premise, and they will spray your car and make it a fabulous new color if you'd like. I've seen some purple cars in town lately, and it's kind of catchy. So Cheshire Custom and Collisions, you're all set with those folks. One of my favorite places in town, maybe going there for dinner tomorrow night, not quite sure. We've got a party of 7, and we're going to go hoop it up a little bit. Meehan's, right on the bayfront.
Oh, Lenny, my dad and I found 2 hacks from Meehan's.
Okay.
So you know about the famous chicken tenders that went off the
menu?
menu?
The Tipperary chicken tenders.
Yep.
Fabulous.
they're still there on the kids menu.
I can be childlike.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I am 13.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Don't look at the beard. So yeah. So they still have it on the menu. So. And then another hack I found was they also have a kids mac and cheese as well. And if you get it with a side of fries, because their fries are fantastic. They're two great portions. You can have like one meal with two of the greatest sides at Meehan's.
Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. You don't have to hack the mac and cheese. They have a side dish of macaroni and cheese. Because when Julie and I go there, if she's not into the big boat of mac and cheese, she just gets a side order, and it's more than enough.
Yeah.
Fabulous stuff there. It's great. You've got the porch up there. I don't know if any of you were lucky enough to have a reservation on the porch for the fireworks. Probably literally the best seat in town for the fireworks on the 4th of July. Right on the bay, right across from where they're shooting them off. Nothing's better. Fabulous staff. You can sit in the backyard. They have live music in the backyard and great staff in the backyard. I think Shay's birthday's coming up. Hi, Shay. And upstairs at Johnny's Oyster Bar, it's a wonderful place to be as well. Fresh oysters. It's just, you know what? The people are nice. The food is great. It's a wonderful place. If you haven't been to Meehan's, shame on you. If you have been, go back again because you will obviously understand why. And then my personal favorite, where'd you have lunch today?
Kaiser's Deli and Market.
4 White Street, which doesn't help you out. It's on Anastasia Boulevard, next to the Gypsy Cab Company. Kaiser's Deli and Market. A lot of local products from a lot of local vendors around here. Some of the best honey in town you can get there from Bee Hill Farms Honey. And then the sandwiches. All Boar's Head products, made with love. That's Kaiser Love, by the way. He is a lovely man. And, the sandwiches are great. They even named one after our show. There's a Bollox on the menu there.
They did.
But if you like pastrami, that's the place to go in St. Augustine. Navel pastrami, sliced thin, steamed up. You can have it as a straight pastrami sandwich. You can get a daddle Reuben, little sauerkraut, and we make a daddle Russian dressing that's a little bit zingy for you, and you get some Havarti Swiss cheese melted on that. It's a filling sandwich. You're not going to go wrong. So you got Meehan's, you've got Kaiser's, you've got Citygate Spirits, you've got St. Augustine Distillery, Abare, Kresge and Associates, Coquina Coast Realty, Chesire Custom and Collision, and one more, Blake. Who else we got? Who's our newest sponsor?
And a newest sponsor for this month is Maverick Engineering. They helped out with a lot of projects with my dad, especially my dad's biggest project, the Canwright House on West King and Holmes.
Yep.
Like they helped out make the experience a lot better for the people wanting to look at history. If you want to give them contact, it's 904-655-6687. 904-655-6687. They can work on big projects, small projects, and anything in between. Give them a call. They are super fantastic and a great local business for us to support.
All right, I'm going to take one more look at that beautiful bottle of sherry. And when you finish the bottle of whiskey, and when you finish that bourbon, you can do something else with the bottle. It's a beautiful bottle.
It definitely is.
It's also serious glass. That's some heavy glass right there. All right, you ready to get into this confusing topic?
It definitely is confusing. It was my dad's idea, but then
he bailed on us.
He bailed on us.
That's right. Here. I'm gonna make it difficult. And then, by the way, I won't be here.
Yeah, but don't worry, my dad's all right. He'll be back next week. So just gonna be the two of us. Ain't that right, Lenny?
We'll do fine. We've done this before, and we've done very well.
But it doesn't actually feel nice to actually do the show in here and not in that high tech, the better cameras, the better sound equipment, Studio A.
We don't need better sound equipment.
We
don't
have
need
fireplace.
Exactly, in the parlor. Absolutely. All right, so
we need to get someone in the parlor here. By the way, it's just been sitting here empty all this time.
Yeah, I'll see if we can't get my wife to come back. She was a pretty good person to watch the show with, and I love her dearly. So, all right, you want me to go first? Or you want to go first?
You can go ahead and go first,
okay.
Mr. Lenser.
So, Troy said, what about things that happened or were invented that nobody knows who invented them? And we were talking about applesauce. We were talking about other things. Well, Troy might have gone in a different direction and slept it off on my dear friend Blake here. But I picked a couple other things. Some of them are discoveries, some of them are things. But I went with the wheel to start. Nobody knows who invented the wheel. But it was invented in the fourth millennium BC. Somewhere in Lower Mesopotamia, which is fun to say, Mesopotamia, by the way.
Wait, hold on, Lenny. What are we supposed to do at the start of every single show? Are we supposed to do a word origin? I realize.
Fine.
Are we going off script here?
Of course we are. Why not?
Hey,
all right.
My dad's in here, but I'm sorry. The Listen, because last week, because like the previous show was about like our personal history of autism, and like the worst thing that you can do is mess up an Asperger person's schedule. What you are doing now is messing up my routine because I was just totally straight into going into my world origin.
Did I mention that's 103 proof?
Yes.
Okay, just saying.
All right. Okay. So we can go to one invention each. Then we go into world origin. Okay.
All right, fine.
Agreed.
Fine. Okay. So I'm going to do the wheel to start with. Fourth millennium BC in lower. Again, I like saying Mesopotamia, which is easier to say than existential. That was for you, Mike.
May that rest in peace.
Which is today, it's modern day Iraq is where Mesopotamia was, and the Sumerian people had discs. And one of them figured out that if you stick a rotating axle in it, you got a wheel. They started out as solid wood discs, and then by the year 2000 BC, just a couple of millennia later, they started hollowing them out a little bit and made them much, much lighter. And this led to a tremendous amount of advances in a couple of different areas. First of all, the wheels were just simply you have carts for transportation. Of course, people being people, they also made battle chariots so they could go chase people and kill people because, why don't we just love each other instead of throw, spears at people and, go. And then you see Ben-Hur, and then they got even really fancier and they started putting those daggers and spikes on the wheels so when you're going around they could get people in the ankles. But then on the other side of it, fortunately, it led to major advances in agriculture in a couple of different areas. Again, the carts for transportation, the carts for animals being able to plow fields and things of that nature. So it made the animals much more productive in agriculture. And believe it or not, windmills for drawing water and milling grain into grist mills and things of that nature. So the windmills are basically working around a wheel. So that was something that nobody knows who necessarily invented them. They sort of evolved. And I don't think that was a discovery. That was a human creation. But I don't know that you can point to Ralph over there was the first person to make a wheel. On the other hand, if you read the comics, and I read them every day, BC is great because you got that one guy that keeps rolling around on the wheel, and that was just brilliant. And it's interesting because I wonder which came first. BC comic strip has been around for a really long time. And the guy's been rolling around on that wheel. It's like the unicycle, the gyroscope. And nowadays you see kids on the one-wheeled skateboards whipping around all over town. They're a little risque on that as they're cutting across the street and stuff. But that's the first one I started with, the wheel. It's an interesting concept.
All right. So.
Hi, Bobby.
Hi, Bobby.
And hi, John.
All right.
Yeah.
So whenever I think about like wheels or something like that, like have you ever had like a major blowout like on the highway or like on the road before?
Fortunately, no. I've had an axle break, but no.
Okay, good. So you got dependable tires so far. Yeah. So thankfully us we never had like any like major blowouts. But the only thing I remember was I think it was a family trip up to like the Great Wolf Lodge in Concord. We were driving up like I-95, I believe, and then we were next to like a semi truck, and then so we were driving, and then all of a sudden it was like boom, so like one of the wheels like popped next to us on the semi. They thankfully never hit. Thankfully nothing bad happened to our car. It's like, oh god, we are so lucky.
Did the truck fish?
Oh yeah, it definitely swayed a little bit. So it was like, oh god, go. My dad was driving. Was like, go.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
I replaced my tires about a year ago, and I learned something that I didn't even know. There's dates on tires.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I almost learned it the hard way myself because one of my tires on my old Tacoma was literally like street racing tires. Like it was just like that little bit of like growl like what's it tread left. Yeah. So it was like, oh boy. So I might have more grip on the racetrack, but probably not good for like puddles.
No, you get those slicks going, you're in big trouble.
Yeah.
All right, you go one, and then we'll go back to word origins.
All right, good. All right, so what is your thoughts on coffee?
I like it cold. or espresso.
Right.
Those are my two. Those are my two things. Demi-tasse, give me a double espresso at the end of a meal, and then I wonder why I don't sleep. Or in the morning, a good iced coffee is a great way to lubricate your day.
All right. I'm actually not a huge fan of coffee. I remember like I haven't tried like actual coffee since I was like 12.
Okay.
But my family was like traveling. We were having like breakfast at like some like Holiday Inn. Is so they have like just like the regular drip coffee. It's like, do you mind if I try coffee real quick? Just a little bit. Just get a little cream in there. Tried it. It basically tasted like burnt cardboard. like
Okay.
I didn't even feel liquid. Like I knew like liquid was going in my mouth, but it was just just like hot cardboard. What's that?
Well, was it in a paper cup or was it in a china mug?
It was in a paper cup.
Well, that could be your hot cardboard right there.
Okay.
Just saying. But, it's interesting because when I was younger, and my mother never drank a cup of coffee in her life, but my mother loved coffee-flavored candy, coffee ice cream, things of that nature. And when I was growing up, I was a big coffee flavor, not necessarily a coffee drinker.
Yeah, I like the coffee cakes, like the coffee crumb cakes that have like cinnamon on top of it, like the intimate ones. Those taste like really good.
I'm going to let you in on a little hint. They have nothing to do with coffee.
I know.
Okay, just saying. It's to have with coffee.
Yes.
Okay.
But guess what? I don't. I have it with milk, which is much better than coffee. By the way, I don't care what all your health nuts in the comments say. Milk, in my personal opinion, you will never get this out of my head. Milk is better than coffee for you health wise.
Oh, you young man, you're saying that now, and everybody else said that too. You get to be our age, and all of a sudden, the milk and the lactose gets a little bit interesting for you. Take my word for it.
Okay, what? Okay,
you'll learn. You just wait your turn. You just wait your turn, and you live long and prosper.
Don't worry,
friend.
Lenny. I'll make sure that they have a lot of fibers. I'll make sure I'll eat my fiber one.
That's not it. You'll see. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Anyway.
Just get you a little farty. All right. Let's do a word origin. Go ahead.
All right.
Throw it out.
Hold here. I need to explain coffee.
Oh, okay.
Real quick.
See? You get me out of my routine.
You messed me up as well. You wanted me to go off tangent, so hey, I'm going off tangent.
Go, baby.
All right, anyway,
go.
Now going back on tangent. Coffee grow. So legend goes that coffee dates back to like multiple centuries back to Ethiopia.
Yes.
So their legend says that the goat herder Kaldi first discovered the potential of these beloved beans, apparently, according to this website. It says the story goes that Kaldi discovered coffee after he noticed that after eating the berries from a certain tree, his goats became so energetic that they did not want to sleep at night. Kaldi reported his findings to the abbot of the local monastery, who made a drink with the berries and found they kept them alert through the long hours and of evening prayer. The abbot shared his discovery with the other monks at the monastery, and knowledge of the energizing beans berries began to spread. So what they're saying is like so are you saying like coffee beans are actually berries then?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. They ripen. They have to ripen. They're berries. They ripen. Then they roast them. And if you're a good coffee roaster, as when I had my restaurants, I was very friendly with the man who was my coffee supplier, and they would explain that there's all sorts of different types of coffee beans. There's Arabica, there's Sumatra. They come from different locations, and a lot of people would just take all their beans and roast them together, which is not going to give you a better cup of coffee. If you roast them separately, because there's a different roasting point for each of the different type of beans, you'll get a better either individual coffee or a blend when you blend them together. So, but it's interesting. You mentioned the monks in Ethiopia. It's a fascinating place because they've got churches that are carved out of solid rock in Ethiopia. I don't know if you've ever seen some of those pictures. It's really it's an amazing thing. It's one of the older civilizations around.
Yeah. But definitely is like interesting for growing like coffee was helped produced by monks at like the Montessori. the monastery, but now you can just go to Starbucks and have your coffee made by like atheists, agnostics, Jews, Christians, priests,
Anybody.
yeah. So coffee is now for everyone,
Right.
which is a great. So,
But it's interesting because, there's coffee cultures in a lot of different places. You've got the cafes in France. You've got the demi-tasse in Italy. You walk in the morning, bang, zoom. You get a tiny little shot. You pop it and you go. You're not lingering. Yet in Croatia, people will sit with a cup of coffee for 3 hours. It's a whole different culture in Croatia. Their coffee culture there is fascinating.
Rebecca does I love with her coffee, but she just doesn't realize that coffee was just made.
So, all right. Yeah, no, coffee's good.
Yeah.
Look, there's a lot of people who can't get through their day without drinking coffee, I'll tell you that.
But let me ask you, what's like the most sacrilegious thing you can do with coffee?
Coffee enema?
All right. That or ordering a Starbucks coffee in Dunkin' country.
Ooh, you don't want to do that in Massachusetts. Don't do that in Massachusetts. It'll be amazing though. It's like Beetlejuice. You do that, and Ben Affleck or Matt Damon will come down and spank you. They'll just appear like that.
The Dunkings. Geez.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, so
for sure.
But what was like the primary chain in Long Beach? Or was it more like
there was a Starbucks in the center of town, right next to City Hall, that was exceedingly busy. Actually, they put it in an old bank, in the old Central Federal Savings Bank. Became the Starbucks in Long Beach, and it prints money. It really does. It prints money.
Makes sense.
It's also the only Starbucks in Long Beach. But you have a couple, because Long Beach is an evolving community. It's getting a little bit more highbrow and hipster, and I don't mean to have a negative connotation to hipster, because it really is bringing in a whole lot of more artisans and a lot more handcrafted stuff. So there's a couple of different coffee purveyors that came in that were small, and then you get into the whole drip coffee, where if you in a hurry, forget about it. It'll take hours to get your cup of coffee that way. But it's good stuff. So people keep trying, but people are very personal about their coffee.
All right. So. Cool. So Cafefe talk over, or sorry, I meant to say coffee, huh?
Coffee talk?
No. Well,
that's on Saturday Night Live.
Well, Cafefe, the whole Donald Trump.
There you go. Right, Cafefe. Yeah, exactly. Still, nobody knows what he was trying to say.
We don't know what he's trying to say either. But hey, but it makes people. It makes people.
You think we should open a shop and call it Cafefe?
I think someone's already done it. Plus, I think someone already trademarked it.
I'm sure of that. Maybe it was Donald.
All right.
Origin of a word.
I speak about origins of words. Lenny, what do you have for your word origin?
Mine? I was watching a show the other day, and Davey was on. The irrepressible and fantastic Davey Hartzell was talking about something, and he mentioned the outskirts. The outskirts of town, the outskirts of somebody. I don't think it was somebody's skirt that they were wearing out, but outskirts. And it kind of registered with me, so I looked it up a little bit. And it's not that difficult. Outskirts is a part removed from the center of a town, usually used in plural. It's not an outskirt; it's outskirts, and it's the edges of a community. But it does date back to the late 1500s, 1599. A gentleman by the name of Edmund Spenser, who was a poet and an administrator in Ireland, was the first person to coin the phrase outskirts for the area in which he was in. And I give all credit to Davey Hartzell for bringing that to my attention.
All right, thank you, Davey. Thank you.
Always, he's a good man.
Yeah. So what do you think is like the limit of our outskirts in like St. Augustine? It's kind of like I personally believe like if you're looking down south, like anything past like the Publix like near the shores, like anything south of that is as outskirts. If you're looking towards the west, it's like the Epic Theaters, because like everything because everything on 95 is like its own separate community. Then like here, I personally think like the jail is our northernmost outskirt. Well,
you've got St. Augustine, and then you've got the unincorporated parts of St. Johns County that are there. I always get a kick out of the city limit signs. Because they're in some weird places. So the size of St. Augustine, according to the city limit signs, are kind of interesting. You've got one at the base of the bridge over to Volano Beach. You've got one right next to the amphitheater coming from St. Augustine Beach. You leave St. Augustine Beach, city of St. Augustine Beach. You've got that stretch on A1A, that's sort of no man's land or unincorporated St. Johns County, and then you hit by the Elks by the Elks Club over there, and then that starts the city of St. Augustine city limits going in toward the bridge in the town there. Trying to remember where the sign would be on the west side of town. I'm not sure.
I think like the west side, the city limit sign appears on the bridge going from State Road 16 onto US 1.
Okay.
So that's
Right. Okay. Over by Masters Drive area.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. So
Yeah.
so when you go past like Lewis Speedway, then down to the bridge where some of the fishermen fish at. That's and you have like the two billboards for the trolleys in town. Go the Old Town Trolley, by the way.
Right.
Yes. And then that's where you can find the sign.
Okay. Bobby had a question about coffee beans and wondering if some of the best coffee was from Monkeys. And no, Bobby, you're close. It's the civet cat. It's a civet cat, and they eat the beans, they poop them out, and then I'm hoping they're washing them off before they roast them and drink them. But yeah, you're onto it. You got it there. And Lizzie Ann, hi, how are you, darling? So that's the outskirts.
All right, that's good. Thank you.
Sure.
Good job. And then once again, thank you, Davey, for that suggestion.
Yep.
But I also think it's personally important to let bygones be bygones. So that's my word origin, and so basically, so when you hear, when was the last time you heard someone say "let bygones be bygones"? And what's like the first thing you think about when you hear someone say that?
Well, it depends on which side of the bygone you're on. I have a feeling, let's let bygones be bygones means, you don't want to get your ass kicked.
Fair?
So,
yeah, I could definitely agree with that.
So, I don't know. I don't use it frequently. It's something I would like to, aspire to being a little bit more forgiving and accepting. I think there's a lot of that, especially, in today's climate. Everybody should really just get along a little bit and not take things so personally. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's easy to say, not easy to do.
Yeah, so this came up in the 15th century, and basically and simply, a bygone was a thing that has gone by.
Okay.
How simple is that? That is a thing of the past. So this appeared in Shakespeare.
It's always Shakespeare.
I know that.
Always Shakespeare.
That weird Englishman that made a lot of great plays. And this came up in The Winter's Tale in 1611, where the quote was, "Dissatisfaction, the bygone day proclaimed, say this to him." Now, I read a lot of Shakespeare, and like I understand that was written in the way that was meant to be said on stage. It's some of the most like it's basically like if my dad didn't have autocorrect on his phone with his dyslexia. So my dad can be a really great playwright if he just doesn't have autocorrect on his phone.
Okay. There you go. Right.
Yeah.
And nobody would know what the hell he's talking about.
Yeah. Like I definitely remember like reading like Hamlet and Romeo and Juliet in like high school, in like middle school, high school. Like, do you remember reading any Shakespeare?
I read Macbeth and Hamlet. Someday I think I'll go back and read more of them. I'd like to do A Midsummer Night's Dream. Those are kind of some of the funky ones. Mm-hmm. But it's work. It's work. Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, everybody gets Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah. So. But do you know what the most popular the theater show is? Like live entertainment theater, like that's derived from like Shakespeare and theater.
I'm gonna say Macbeth, but
professional wrestling.
Oh, okay. It always comes back to wrestling with you, doesn't it?
Hey, look, I need to show my love to wrestling at some point besides just like the comments. So maybe when you're gone again, look, going on out on tour to like the Grateful Dead or the Eagles or
that's the next one.
Or to whoever which band members are on life support yet. Then my dad and I would do.
You gotta hurry because they're not gonna stay around much longer.
I know, Lenny. Your childhood's dying. I feel bad for you, man.
Hey, look, I'm going to see the Eagles out in Vegas at the Sphere, which is, by the way, if you haven't been to the Sphere and you have an opportunity to do it, ladies and gentlemen, it is one of the most miraculous venues you can ever go to. I mean, it's not quite the St. Augustine Amphitheater, which is by far and away my most favorite venue in the world, and I say that without hesitation. But the Sphere is fantastic and fascinating.
Dude, it looks awesome on the outside. Like,
You should see it on the inside.
oh yeah, I've never seen like the pictures of like during like Grateful Dead, U2, and all that. And then actually one fish fan actually one fish fan actually got banned from the Sphere for ripping a bong.
Oh yeah, you were telling me that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Eagles is going to be good. I'm sorry Glenn Frey is dead. I'm sorry a lot of people are dead, but I'm looking forward. That's one of the bands that I had yet to see, and that's one of the reasons we're doing it. They should all stay alive until December, please. I've seen Joe Walsh a couple of times. He's pretty great too, and Don Henley. But Glenn Frey, I miss him. He was great when he was on Miami Vice too. That was some great stuff.
Yeah. All right. So let bygones be bygones about me disrupting your flow. So sorry. So let's go back to
never a problem.
All right. So let Blake Blevins take 2. Let's go back to inventions or discoveries.
Okay.
What is your second invention / discovery?
I went with fire.
Fire.
Fuego, baby, fuego.
Hold on 1 second. Let me do my control. Fire. You give me one. There.
Fire Marshal Bill.
Okay. You're lucky. Jeez. And I thought you were the most liberal.
So, fire was discovered by our genetic ancestors, by the way. Genetic ancestors of humans, the Homo erectus. Not to be confused with the guys that started thinking, the Homo sapiens. Homo erectus, 2 million years ago. They said, it's cold out. Let's see if we can't warm it up. And apparently, they found it from, they started seeing forest fires and lightning strikes and things of that nature. And they put 2 and 2 together and burnt themselves. So that was about 2 million years ago. Controlled use of fire started about 1 million years ago in Africa. Before that, people would eat raw meat and consumed. They would eat their meat. It would be raw when they would consume it. And they did that for about 1 million years, the first 1 million years of human existence. And then, they were able to control it. They found it. Archaeologists are finding fire ash and wood residue in places where they've realized that there were campfires. They were cooking things there. So it's come a long way, baby. Or if you don't believe in that, you can say, thank you, Prometheus. Prometheus was, a little rebel in Mount Olympus, took fire, stole it, and brought it down to the peoples because he was a big humanist, Prometheus was. And he gave it to humanity in the form of, he tried to help humanity in the form of technology, knowledge, and civilization. And he brings fire down there. And what did he do for his troubles? He got spanked for it big time. Zeus said, no, you should not have done that. He takes Prometheus, chains him up on a rock, and has an eagle eat his liver. Eagle eats his liver. Overnight, his liver grows back. Next day, the eagle comes back and eats his liver again. And this went on for almost ever. So, poor Prometheus. But I found something interesting because Prometheus, means forethought. He had a brother, Epimetheus, which is afterthought. So go figure. So, yeah, that was fire. And, and we're very fortunate because without fire, we'd be chilly. Maybe not today outside where it's 90 degrees and a lot of humidity, but for the most part. And, and I'm talking about how, humans control fire. Well, you know what? Really not, because all the forest fires out west are going nuts. Yeah, thank you very much. Warm this place up a little bit. All the forest fires out west are out of control. In Europe, there's forest fires all over the place, and we don't control any of those, unfortunately, and that's devastating. Now, there was a time where people would do fire to clear fields from an agricultural perspective, and they tried to control those a little bit better. But, it's a fascinating concept, fire. It really is. Or, as Frankenstein would say, fire, bad.
All right.
Or what I say is, ouch.
All right. Good choice. Now, so you are a chef.
Yes, sir.
So, what's like the best meal that you cooked over an open flame? Because
over an open flame.
Yes.
That's a tough one. I was barbecuing over the weekend a couple of different times. Did some chicken wings, throw a couple burgers on there, do some nice steaks in a London broil. I like grilling on the open fire. It really is. It's a lot of fun. Use hardwood and some briquettes, mix them together. It's a nice combination.
And do you feel like a lot more connected in nature when you use like actual flames instead of like a stove top, a grill top,
It depends.
air
If I'm
fryer?
doing meats or chicken, some fish. I like cooking on an open flame. It really is nice when you have a nice, good, clean grate, and you can do it that way. You have to be careful because we're talking about controlling fire. It's not as easy to do as people may think. So there's a lot of it that can be done, and there's a lot of restaurants now that will have in their kitchen. They will have either a wood burning grill that they'll do their meats on, and the trick with that is you've got to regulate it. There's a place in town, Asado, which is now down on the river, that almost all their cooking they've gone into the kitchen a little bit, but they made their name and their reputation cooking. And I think Asado itself is an Argentinian grill situation for open fire cooking, and they do some magnificent stuff there on the river. They'll hang big tomahawk ribeyes up there and slowly roast those on the fire. It's an interesting place. If you get a chance to go there, Asado, the food is really very good, and that's all open flame cooking. But before we get into your next one, I want to just take a second and support our sponsors. Thank you, our sponsors.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Pardon me. The St. Augustine Distillery, City Gate Spirits. Pick a flavor, any flavor. Take the tour there. Meehan's. You're never going to go wrong at Meehan's ever. Abare, Kresge and Associates. If you need any type of accounting work, financial planning, they'll help you out with that stuff. The St. Augustine Pirate Museum. We neglected to do one of our favorites earlier. The St. Augustine Pirate Museum right there on Sponsor Row. My goodness.
Wow.
Shame on us. That is a fun place. You got a kid, you got an adult, you got a child like me. The pirate history there is fascinating. They're constantly updating.
It is a phenomenal museum. You have to
really
go.
is.
Like if you've never been to St. Augustine before and you want to go to one museum, you have to go to the St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum. It is phenomenal.
And take your time. There is so much stuff in there. They've got history. They've got and they bring it up into fun stuff too, because the last room is all about Peter Pan and Captain Hook and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So that's pretty fun. Coquina Coast Realty.
946697901.
Call collect. Cheshire Custom and Collision. If you have any problem with your automobile, you got a ding, you need to take it out, you want to paint it a different color, go right ahead. What else we got there? We've got Maverick Engineering. They were very helpful in moving the Canfield House. The Canfield House is Canwright?
Canwright.
I can. Can you? Canwright House.
Cancun.
Let's go.
Ooh.
The storm's gone. It's safe now.
We're fine. They definitely didn't destroy anything.
Which was a house that Martin Luther King was supposed to be spending a night in, and people found out about it. Fortunately, he wasn't there at the time, but boy, did they shoot that place up a little bit. And they moved it now over toward. I always get this wrong. Florida Memorial. Okay, and they moved the entire house over there, and your father had a whole lot to do with that as well. And now it's going to be available for public viewing. It's a pretty good civil rights historical icon in St. Augustine.
Definitely, for sure.
Kaiser's Deli and Market. You want a sandwich tomorrow? They're closed on Monday, but the other 6 days of the week, you're going to eat good there.
And don't forget they have breakfast as well.
Check first. Check first. And, the best sandwiches in town and the best pastrami in town, hands down. So we've got St. Augustine Distillery, City Gates, Meehan's, Abare, Kresge and Associate, the Pirate Museum and Treasure Museum, Kaiser's Deli and Market, Coquina Coast Realty, Cheshire Custom and Collision, and Maverick Engineering. And by the way, if you got a kid, they are easily entertained in that. There's a scavenger hunt. Mm-hmm. It's great at the Pirate Treasure Museum. It really is a great place to be. Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyway, so
you're up.
All right, so let's talk marriage, Lenny.
I'm spoken for, but it's very nice of you to ask. Thank you, Blake. I appreciate that. I hope I didn't break your heart.
Yeah. All right. All right. So when do you think marriage began? What do you think was the first marriage? So
that was a marriage that people were saying, I am betrothing myself to you, and we are now monogamous. or ceremonially speaking, with rings and huppahs and dancing and things of that nature?
I'm gonna say pick. It doesn't matter which one. Just as long as it says you are married.
Does it count when the caveman hit the woman over the head and dragged her by the hair back to the cave?
Okay, I won't count that far.
Okay, then I don't know. Educate me, please.
It has to be. So it started in ancient Rome.
Okay.
So marriage was a civil affair governed by imperial law. But when the empire collapsed in the 5th century, churches took over the control to control over marriage and then elevated marriage into a holy union. And then as the church power grew throughout the Middle Ages, so did the influence of a marriage. In 1215, marriage was declared one of the church's 7 sacraments alongside rites of baptism and penance. It was only after the 16th century that the church decreed that weddings be performed in public by a priest before a witness.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, marriage. So nice.
All right, Mister. I always win at trivia when we play on the evening show with Mike. How many marriages end in divorce?
Ooh.
You're good at this stuff.
I'm gonna say, it has to end in 2 ways, doesn't it, Lenny? It always ends in 2: death and divorce. I'm gonna say 38% of all marriages end in divorce.
Sadly, I think it's closer to about 50%.
Yeah, let's see. All right, let's see.
You goggle that.
Yeah, but why you didn't what's like your personal thoughts about like the concept of marriage, like I know it's like a heavy load question to ask, like all this.
Yeah, I better be careful. My wife watches this show.
I know.
I love you, baby. I do.
I know. Do we have to have like official legal document, do people just deserve to say like here is a legal document that says we are together to be wed. And shouldn't it just be fine for just 2 people that love each other to say what, we don't really want to deal with all the paperwork. We just want to love each other.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think society puts a lot of context in the fact that in a lot of places it needs to be a religious ceremony, depending on how religious you are or what religion you practice. There's civil ceremonies. Now there's same-sex marriages, which enables people who love each other, regardless of their gender, to be together. Because there's interracial marriages, which we were talking about earlier on the Mike show, was illegal for years in this country. Mm-hmm. So it's I think you're right, Blake. If you love somebody, you make a commitment. Does that commitment need to be written down on paper, or does it need to be codified by an officiant of a religious nature or a civil nature? I think a lot of people give that some stability, and in some cases that may make people stay in a marriage longer because there are vows, there's commitments that have been put down on paper or in a religious situation, and that may make people fight it out longer. And I suppose fight it out is not the right way to typify that, but I think you're on to it. If you love somebody, you do it. And, over the course of time, people change, views change. The world is a weird place. And, we're one of the few species that, commits to monogamy forever. I mean, it's a wonderful thing for so many people. It's working for me. So, good for us.
Yeah. Yes, and plus the research as well. 41% of first marriages end in divorce. But when you're married a second time, it ends 60% of the time with divorce.
Well, once you got it under your belt, you know how to do it. There you go.
Yeah, definitely.
You practice in the first one, and you really screw it up in the second
time,
one.
it's probably 99%.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, well, it's a business. Divorce is.
Yeah.
Think of all the divorce attorneys out there that are making fortunes
off
of people's misery.
No. Divorce attorneys go out to Hollywood for third divorces. That's where they go to.
Yeah, well.
I probably bet Ben Affleck's divorce attorney is probably like one of the highest paid, or Jennifer Lopez's.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot of serial marriages in Hollywood. I guess they just it's like a revolving door.
Yeah, but have you noticed so you lived in New York for like a long time, and here in Florida a long time. Do you notice like a cultural difference between like New York marriages, like Florida marriages, or
no? Not that I could put my finger on. I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's don't forget, years and years ago, if you wanted a divorce, you either had to go to Mexico or to Nevada. Las Vegas and Reno were the places that you would go for your quickie divorce. Uncontested, no questions asked. Nowadays, people are putting in prenuptial agreements. There's no-fault divorces in almost every state nowadays. They can be uncontested. The question is children, finances, things of that nature. And a lot of people, will stay in a loveless marriage because they have children. I would venture to say there's probably two schools of thought in that. One, all right, there's stability for the children, but children are more astute than people realize. And if there's disharmony between the couple, I think the children will perceive that in a lot of ways, and that may affect them emotionally or psychologically, which is a shame. But would it be better off if the parents separated? I don't know what the right answer is for that. And it's a horrific thing because, the children are important, obviously. So, but, it's tough.
Yeah,
it really is,
and definitely as like someone's so my mom and dad divorced like back in 2019, and thankfully I was like around 17 and like 17 going on 18 when it happened. So I was like prepared for like what what was going to happen, but it still affected like me personally, and especially for like Ty when
right
since he's since he doesn't like understand fully why did mom and dad have have to stay separately during that time. But it was definitely challenging for us. But oh well. But definitely make sure regrets sign that paper when divorces go through them.
Kathy made a very good point. You and I are talking about, staying together for the children or things of that nature. Kathy made a good point that if you don't codify it legally, there's tax ramifications that may or may not be better for you.
Yeah.
So it's possible, that, filing jointly or filing separately, it's all a matter of, what Abare, Kresge and Associates will tell you.
Yeah.
There you go. Call them up. They'll help you out right there for sure. All right. So,
all right, third discovery.
Mine is soccer.
You should have brought that up to Mike, sir. You should have brought that up to Mike Lewis. He despises soccer. He just doesn't like soccer.
Huh.
So
Don't know why.
I don't understand either because personally American football is just as boring. Like it has a lot more down. Listen.
Soccer is a brilliant game.
Listen to what
maybe a little boring.
Hold on. Let me explain. Listen to what I had to say. American football, in my personal opinion, has a lot of dead moments compared to soccer because let's say game starts like 15 minutes. You run one play. Okay,
oh, yeah.
so it's a rushing play for like 6 yards. That runs on the clock to like 14:48. You then have 40 seconds of play clock.
Yeah.
You have 37 seconds left. Like replays, looking at the coaches, looking at Taylor Swift up in the press box. So it's like, what are you doing during that time? Like just doing nothing. Like I understand it gets a lot more exciting during like the high tension moments.
Sure.
But I will say, like you have a lot more action during the time of like every second in soccer is like the most important second.
The ball's almost constantly in motion. In American football, or gridiron football as it used to be called, and we'll talk about that in a second. In American football, in a 60-minute game, maybe 25 minutes of action. You know, I mean, there's statistics on, and I don't know off the top of my head. You know, I don't think it's quite 30 minutes worth of action in an American football game, but soccer, modern soccer, well, soccer itself, and all I say is, ouch. Soccer started, you know, again, the ancient Chinese. The Chinese were some of the first people to play soccer, South America, but it goes back to what do I got here? The second and third century. It was called Su Chu, Tsuchu, in China, and it was the game was found described in an ancient military manual called Su Chu, and that goes back to the second or third century. Before the Common Era, so we're in BCE. And it was interesting because the ball was either made out of animal hide stuffed with hair, and I'm wondering if because it was in a military manual, it was the hair of the people that lost the battle, or it was made out of a rock, and I'm thinking, how the hell are you kicking that? So it evolved further, and modern soccer started in England in 1863.
Okay.
1863. There was a gentleman by the name of, love this name, Ebenezer Cobb Morley.
Ooh.
In 1863, he wrote the rule book for soccer, but the year before that, he started the Barnes Football Club, and they played their first game against the Richmond Football Club, 2-0 Barnes in the first game. By the way, I get a kick out of the fact that Richmond is the team that Ted Lasso coached.
Yep. Yeah. AFC Richmond.
Yep. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But they called it soccer. And they got the name soccer because originally it was called Association Football. And they lost the first syllable, the first syllable, and the last three syllables, and they were left with the SOC. And they expanded that by adding an ER to it and called it soccer. Sometimes they would spell it SOCKER. In 1891, it was called soccer that way. And this is interesting because I didn't realize this. In 1945, American football was called gridiron football, and they started calling football soccer. Okay, fine. Now, we all think that the Europeans call it football, and we call it soccer. But it wasn't until the 1980s that the Brits went to football from soccer. Until 1980, they were calling it soccer as well. And then because American had football, the Brits didn't want that, so they started calling it. They stopped calling it soccer, and they started calling it football to differentiate from American football, because we used soccer, and the Brits didn't want that. So in the 1980s, they started calling it football. I'm sorry. Go figure.
Yeah.
I don't confuse myself much at all, do I?
No. You're definitely much better than Joe Biden. Just saying.
Well, I know who the president of the Ukraine is.
Yeah. All right, but all right. We're non-political. No, we're non-political.
No. We're all good.
We're all good.
That's a different show.
That's definitely a different show over there. But this is Studio B. Studio A's over there. We should remember that. All right.
Yeah.
Third discovery. How about a thing you're familiar with, Lenny? Restaurants.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right. So what was the first restaurant you opened?
The first restaurant I opened myself?
Yes.
It was the kitchen on Pine Street in 1991.
All right, 1991. Do you know when the first official restaurant opened?
It was in I was going to say the 1700s in France, but it might have been earlier than that.
All right.
What do you got for me?
So the first restaurants appeared in China in 1100 A.D.
It's all China.
Yeah.
It's either Shakespeare or China.
I know. Okay. It's either Shakespeare, China, or Troy Blevins. My dad has helped create a lot of stuff in this county. Okay, but other two stuff usually comes to China or China or Shakespeare.
Pretty much.
Then you have Troy Blevins in the county. All right. So the first establishment that were easily recognizable as restaurants popped up in 1100 A.D. in China, where cities like Kaifeng and Hangzhou boasted densely packed urban populations of more than 1 million inhabitants each. Trade was bustling between these northern and southern capitals of the 12th century Song dynasty, explains Shore. but Chinese tradesmen traveling outside the home states were accustomed to the strange local foods. The original restaurants in those two cities are essentially southern cooking for people who coming up from the south, or northern cooking for people coming down from the north. You could say the ethnic restaurant was the first restaurant.
Okay.
So people coming down from like north, so people coming down north from the south had a restaurant to go to eat northern food. People going up from the south up to the north had restaurants for the southern. So
Okay.
yeah. So and plus now today we have like multiple restaurants based on like Italian, Asian, French, Mexican.
Well, it's interesting that Asian restaurants have morphed into fusion restaurants nowadays.
Yeah.
You go to an Asian restaurant, you're getting sushi, you're getting Chinese, you're getting Thai, all on the same menu.
Yeah.
So they sort of morphed them together.
Yeah, but also you also have the most famous restaurant here, the Ichiban Buffet, that has all those foods, including like American chicken tenders, fries, Jello.
Jello, right?
Yeah.
Eight flavors of Jello.
Yeah,
and French fries on an Asian buffet.
I know.
Go figure. I have friends who like that place a lot.
Yeah, I actually haven't been there in a while. I might have to go just to see, like, because I think like the last time I went, I was like 9.
Okay.
So probably, I might have to go at some point. So just see like how would adult me like and compared to child me.
You'd probably have a lot more choices that you would eat as opposed to when you were a child.
Oh,
I think you would have a better palate and have more things to enjoy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like it's and is that kind of why like. And I presume that's obviously why it's like a different like kids menu is a lot more simpler compared to like
yeah.
I
mean, there's a lot of children that and a lot of this it's the path of least resistance for some parents. Children, their tastes are unevolved, so they're going to eat what they're comfortable with. And for the parents, instead of fighting with them at mealtime, a chicken finger or mac and cheese is an answer because they'll get some nutrition, they'll eat. But it's tough to get a kid to eat broccoli. It was tough to get me to eat broccoli. When I was a kid, I wouldn't eat mushrooms. I wouldn't eat asparagus. Now they're two of my favorite things in the world. Mm-hmm. So tastes do evolve and tastes do change. Yeah. When I was up in New York, we used to do a lot of career day stuff, and I would go in and talk about restaurants and talk about food. And it would be interesting because I would ask the third graders, who likes broccoli, who likes asparagus, who likes mushrooms, things of that nature. Mm-hmm. And you would get one or two children, and you would find out that, interestingly enough, the kids that had a greater palate, their parents were either a chef, a cook, or worked in a restaurant of some nature, and I found that a lot. But what was interesting is I would talk to the children about making an informed decision. And do you like broccoli? Do you like mushrooms? Have you ever? No, I don't like mushrooms. Have you tried a mushroom? No. So then, how do you know you don't like a mushroom? And I would ask the children to try something. Try to make an informed decision. Try a mushroom or an asparagus or broccoli. And one of two things will happen. Either you'll like it, and that's something else that you can eat now and enjoy, or you won't like it. And then the next time somebody says, "Why aren't you eating your broccoli?" Because I've tried it and I don't enjoy it, and you have a reasonable answer to say, "No, I've tried broccoli. I don't particularly care for it."
Yeah, I'm sorry to say this, Lenny, but I just still don't like broccoli to this day.
Oh, I'm with you. I'll eat broccoli occasionally, especially in a like you get something like a sweet and sour pork or something like that. I ask them to leave the broccoli out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we'll say though, if at some point if you want to scare my dad, bring in a bowl of peas and just put it right here. He hates peas.
Oh, I'm gonna file that one away.
I know.
Oh, thank you for that. Hope he's not watching still.
All right. So Lenny, so we're nearing the end of the show right now. What's like your overall thoughts about like these discoveries? Like do you notice like a common trend with like all these or?
Yeah, China.
Yeah, that as well. So what's like do you like the discoveries that actually come appear like that appear like out of like accident or like or you like the discoveries more that painstakingly like detailed like notice like you want to draw to a conclusion about something?
Well, so many interesting things, penicillin, things of that nature were happenstance, they were accidents, they were discoveries that happened as a byproduct from something else or accidentally. A lot of stuff were things that were done by people actually painstakingly researching. Those are more inventions. Those are more things that people were focused at. A lot of the things that we're trying to talk about today were things that people either happened on, it was a necessity, it was a coincidence, things of that nature.
Right.
Nobody said, "Oh, I'm going to invent fire." Fire was there, and it was how do you control fire.
All right, Lenny. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for being the lead. How's it feel to be the lead?
I always enjoy when it's you and I. I think we do a great job together.
It's fantastic. All right, Lenny. It's time for you to do the outro because I'm gonna go in the studio and end the show. So go ahead and plug next week's show.
I will. We are on next Thursday at 6:34 here at Bollox Talks and Tangents. Ladies and gentlemen, please support our sponsors. Let them know you heard about them on Bollox Talks and Tangents so they'll keep sponsoring us. We appreciate your viewers. We appreciate your comment. Kathy, that was just a statement he made at a question and answer, the press conference that will be tonight. Life is good. Bobby, always a pleasure having you on board. John, Lizzie, Kurt, you wild man, you. Support Kaiser's Deli, Meehan's, Maverick Engineering, St. Augustine Distillery. It's a good bottle of bourbon. Citygate Spirits, the flavors are wonderful. Meehan's, you're never going to go wrong. The Pirate Treasure Museum is a treasure in St. Augustine. Coquina Coast Realty for your real estate needs. Chesire Custom and Collision. I have to say that slowly. And then we got you covered. Abare, Kresge and Associates. They'll answer your marriage questions. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Have a good night and safe travels.